Hey, I've got to get going. I got to do some stuff today. But me and somebody was talking, and we as a total, we're not autonomous anymore. And what I mean by that is we can't govern ourselves. We have others that govern us, and they tell us what to do. They tell us what to take. They tell us what's for the better good, even though society is getting just it's the worst it's ever been in history as far as sickness goes. Self-induced. In the guise of, because our bodies, they're batteries. And they are. And once you start to understand that you are a battery, you run the same way. The battery in the vehicles comes from us. The whole design. The computers, steamboat, steam engine, motors, transmission, the cerebellum. You have a main switchboard in the house you live in. You have a switchboard here because this is the house. But they've conditioned us with, with China and listen, all these countries they're already, every piece of land on earth is controlled by the Vatican. All of it. Some countries have been created by these people that work for the Vatican. Because at one point in time, you're taught that man discovered fire, which is a lie. It's such a lie. But starting a fire, starting a fire used to be like everybody knew that. And when we don't know how to, because the whole thing is this, is in writing, writing, cursive took forever to get here, and then they just took it away. Sort of like how it should be first nature to know how to start a fire, keep warm, just in case through the winter if something happens. But no, Matt, we have heat and air. Well, our whole point is when they shut it down, these natural faculties that we should know how to do have been taken away from us because we've been conditioned with this. Like one of the main things is the maps. Is Google Maps, okay? Whenever we're looking at traveling, people would travel with this compass. Longitude and latitude. Longitude and latitude. That's your degrees. Here, and then you've got 360 degrees in the zodiac. That's regardless. But Google Maps, we've been conditioned. Because the way that we used to read this is how we would travel, or we knew the movement of the sun and the moon based off the shadow because we paid attention. We knew where to go. But we don't know more. Just like they took our ability to start a fire and know how to control a fire has been taken. So they can put on their fake news. Embers travel 5,000 miles. See, Matt, that hadn't been brought up since they intentionally direct energy weapon the shit out of everything. It's all conditioning. So when you don't know something from beginning to end, then they can use that against you, and they know that. But it's just like us traveling has been taken away. Time comes from geocentric. Time can be told by the shadow and the season too. Tell what time of the day it is just based off the shadow. Now I can't, I'm just learning. I'm a baby now. Back into God's world. I'm back out of the Satan's realm. So we would travel based off longitude, latitude, north and south, east and west. You know, because if you didn't have a compass, then you really knew you really had to know your shit. You had to be, because prior to all this satanic technology, people were connected to the earth, to God. Not anymore. Pills, man. Jesus. Modified foods. Stay inside. It's so gross. Everybody's so disconnected. And you've slowly been taken out of this. You know, these are small examples right here. Main one right there, but this is what I'm trying to get at. The maps. All maps are flat pieces of paper. Okay? And when you have a map and a compass, then you can come up with a plan on how to get there because you know how to read it. What do? We go to Google Maps and key it in and put it on our car. Children do. They watch their parents do it. So it's concrete in them. That's all you got to do. And they put it up there and they tell you where to turn and all this other shit. And truthfully, we don't even pay attention to the road signs to where you go anymore. You just listen to this. So when they stop everything, what's going to happen? Well, nobody knows how to go anywhere because the maps have been eradicated. Nobody has maps like the old days. Remember, and all the parents, old timers, they'd map out the trip before they went. That makes your mind work and all that, and makes you understand the geography. Makes you look. You're applying your mind to think. Not anymore, Matt. Jesus loves us. Just say you gotta go somewhere and it tells you where to go. That's our whole point. This tells you everything. And then when it stops, think about the children. You've got to think about your children. I've told y'all, you're not coming out of this and you ain't. Look at where we are now. Think about if half the people almost 2 years ago when we were like, this ain't going to stop, even looked into something, but they didn't. Because everything natural that you have been born with has been altered through y'all's whole lives through modified foods, shots, vaccines, fucking coffees, high-powered coffees, sodas, energy drinks, all the meat we consume, all the chocolate, and it destroys the brain. Okay? And the children now have lived with this shit their whole life. And let's say your child is 300 miles from home or 1,000. And let's say they stop it. They cut it. And then, of course, China did it. But here's the deal. Is the children never, ever learn anything about how to travel without this. Do you see how they've made everybody depend on just this? And all of God's stuff is gone, Matt. They'll never shut this down. This is Jesus. Jesus loves us. He'll never shut up. This is Satan. He's going to shut it down. And they're that far away from home. 300 miles away from home. Now, with no power at all, none, can that child, do they know how to get back to their location? No, they don't. No, they don't. Because now, everybody that's fucking got even the poorest bastards, have the fucking TVs in the headrest and shit. So all the children, all they've ever done, even the grown-ups now, growing up, have fucking watched TV in the vehicle, never paid attention to any landmarks, anything. So, because this will never stop, Matt. God, Disney is more important than any fucking thing. The headrest, all the way to school, so they won't fucking whine. Well, they're supposed to whine. You're supposed to correct them. Not anymore, Matt. We don't whip our children. Because they love Disney, and I do too, Satan. So what it is, this is going to stop. And you better start making a plan, whether it's 5 days, 5 months, 5 years. You do a drill the same way you did drills in school for the conditioning of fucking bombs and shit. You know, you get with your family and you say, listen, if it stops, go to this location. If you go out of town, make sure you go together, because that way, if you don't make it back, you die together. There ain't nothing more fucking badass than that. God will bring you on home. There ain't no sense in fighting and trying to stay in this shithole. I don't know why people are taking up for a diabetic society. Fucking cancer? Your answer is in the mineral salts and the cell salts. No, Matt, you're an alcoholic. You didn't go to Satan's fucking universities and Satan's seminary schools, and so you don't know Jesus. Not your satanic Jesus. No, I don't. Because I'm giving you something that is going to happen. When? Who knows? But it will stop. And do you have your fucking shit together to sit there at your house knowing your child is so far away, and they know there ain't nothing going to be cut on for days, weeks, whatever. And they know the average person is going to fucking shoot themselves because you have allowed this from beginning of it, as it's rised all the way to where it is now. And it is concrete. This is the brain in every human being. They don't even have their own faculty anymore to think for themselves. None. They eradicated everything natural. It's fucking crazy. They have empowered alcoholics, functional alcoholics, to have control of society. You know, it's sad because the fucking court system is set up the same way the Catholic Church is. It's the same shit. It's about making money at the top and control. You know, if we could grow hint, we would be out of all this shit. But we're not. But my whole point is that we don't know how to even travel. Children don't have a clue, and they'll be sitting there, think about it. You're at your house losing your mind, and they're sitting there going, how do I get home? Where I go? Where I go? And then it just fucking all hell breaks loose. Suicide starts, children jumping off bridges, fucking people shooting themselves, all because that won't come back on. All by design. And the whole time, everybody's going to be freezing. You don't even know how to start a fire anymore. You don't know how to stay warm through the winter. They put you inside, Satan has. Got you all fucked up with his TV, which is Satan. Satan, Satan, Satan. You've watched fucking Good Morning America your whole life when you should be watching the sunrise and the sunset. The heavens declare the glory of God. But the false prophets put out there in Satan's fucking churches tells you, you go get that career, you eat them pills, because it's Satan. And he's going to shut the motherfucker down. And when that happens, the inner cities are going to fucking erupt. Black, white, it's going to be a goddamn fucking wild, wild west shit. And then whoever gains control in those inner cities, whatever group, and there will be a hidden government group in there acting like they're the people, and they'll empower more people, and then they'll start fucking spreading out, and they'll just start growing like a big fucking communist army, and they'll start killing all the citizens that don't go along, just like a fucking virus. And it will happen. These people don't give a fuck about you. They have made everything natural bad. It is disgusting. You learn pizza parties, chocolate shit in school, learn how to be the top seller. For what? So you're a loyal fucking customer to the shit that kills you, and not mineral salts, and alkaline water, and farming, and cannabis, and hemp, and fucking everything else that they've taken from us. Toilet paper should be free. Water, you should never have to pay for it. Plastic bottles poison the fucking earth more than anything. Hemp that's how far gone you are, Christians. God gave us hemp for everything. Oh no, Matt, we have to obey the laws of the land. Fuck you, go on then. Everything we have is out there. Everything. We don't need all this shit. Where'd all the money go from the slavery? Where'd all that money go? We're fixing to do a video on that later on too when I get done. But where'd all the money go from the slavery? You think fucking white people just had slaves and there was no money around or nothing, and it's just like, you're my slave. Come on. And then your government's like, no, we're going to stop that shit. Because your fucking government, when they purchased the land west of the Mississippi from France, it was already had slaves there from the Vatican. So your government inherited the slavery. They could have fucking stopped it right then. Nope, it's a business. They were making money. And then the technology comes and the machine, so you don't need the fucking human hands anymore. And then what do? You blame the fuck out of the people down there. Because the people were bitching about it, saying, no, there's no fucking way you can have slaves. And then to have a free country or whatever, and then to have slavery all the way up until 1868, what was it? 1865, 1868, I think it's 1868, December the 18th. And then what happened was it lay dormant. All the slave traders that worked for the Vatican, all the big fucking churches too, they went dormant, because it's all military controlled. Cotton went all over the earth. And but they lay dormant, and then out of the ashes of it came professional sports. Yeah. And it's the same code. The same trading code from team to team is the same slave trade code from trader to trader. I mean, you had slaves, you think they're going to have fucking feed them shit and all that food? No. The slave traders know what to feed them. They know everything. You got to have them fucking running at top fuel cylinders. Think about it. Y'all are just, you go over and say, yeah. It's like y'all are fucking stupid. The same people that gave us the fucking shit that we've been eating to give us all these diseases and shit are the same people that know what to fucking give slaves in order to make them run to get it all done. You can't have fucking slaves running around with no energy and shit. They were eating top-notch shit. It's truthfully what we all should be eating right fucking now. No, Matt, we got Little Debbie's cupcakes and fucking Doritos, yeah. Coke parties, yeah. Pepsi. Anyways, I got off on a tangent on that. But if it stops, we're fucked. So be prepared. I love you.